All right, Neo-Sweo fam. You all know what I look like, so I don't have to point the video at me. Um, I'm at the gazebo, and I wanted to record what I was thinking, but let's start it with a song. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the road, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, Lord of God, the poses, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the voice I hear calling on my ear, no other has ever known. That's part of the song called In the Garden, and I get my version, I think, off of Willie Nelson's record called, what is it called? It's the one, anyway, it's the one with In the Garden on it. It's Willie Nelson's gospel album. It's not Redheaded Stranger, it's the other one. But anyway, now, I'll say this to people who don't know, but this is not a Christian channel, and I am not a Christian speaker, and I am not going to turn it into a Christian lesson. This is actually a non-Christian. Neo-Swedenborgianism is a materialistic philosophy, essentially. It's the kind of where materialism and spiritualism meet. And I conclude, if you want to jump to the end, that the spirit lands, as described in J. Hewitt Mackenzie's book, Spirit Intercourse, are in fact the Van Allen belts, which were discovered in 1958, whereas that book came out in 1916. And if you want a more detailed description of this spirit land place, which is in the Van Allen belts, you can read a book called Wanderer in the Spirit Lands by French Hesed. So that's jumping ahead. I don't want you to miss the good stuff, but the song In the Garden. Now, I wanted to say that this isn't a Christian channel, but I also want to say that this is a Christian song, right? And so while this channel, let me just extend the preface a bit. The channel is not Christian, but it's also not anti-Christian or anti-religious. There's a lot of anti-theism going around, and that's also not my bag, right? I'm not talking against Christianity. I'm just saying that this is not Christianity, and going from there. This is more akin to Stoicism, a materialistic Stoicism. But anyway, to get to the point, and the voice I hear calling on my ear, none other has ever known. That's kind of the key point in this song. And that is a Christian concept, that you have an individual relationship with Jesus. This is a Jesus song, just so you know. It's Jesus in the garden speaking to this singer. And they have a relationship that none other has ever known. Nobody has ever known, because you have a unique relationship. In the Christian tradition, it's Jesus, right? You have a relation. Jesus is your best friend, somebody might say. But in a broader non-Christian tradition, you could say that you have a personal relationship with God. It doesn't have to be Christian. You can separate it from Christianity and say the voice in your ear is God, and that you have a personal relationship with the creator of the universe. Okay, so that just introduces the song. That's actually not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about gossip. And I wanted to put gossip in a certain context. And basically, gossip is when people are talking shit about you, let's just say, right? They're spreading shit talk in your life. They're spreading all this shit, and it's stinking to high heaven, and everywhere you go, you hear this people have said about you. And then people kind of, the gauge of gossip is not, is it true or not? The gauge of gossip is it juicy? All right, gossip is the implication is not really that it's true. Is it juicy? So there's a type of person who is more interested in the gossip, the juicy gossip, than the facts, right? And so if you have somebody gossiping about you, and then you hear it secondhand, and you try to set the gossip straight, it never really works, because the truth is never as juicy as the gossip, right? You know, oh, I heard this, and then you say, well, no, really, it's this. No, and it's like, you're the one they're talking about, right? And so this is common. This is a common experience. And, but it's also, you know, it's nothing really to laugh at, because it's infuriating. It's all kinds of, it's hurtful, it's sad, it's unnecessary, blah, 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 negative emotions. All kinds of negative emotions are attached to it. So I want to try to put a spin on it for people who are kind of stuck in gossip vortexes right now, vortices, right? And the thing is, it connects to that song in the garden, right? So picture your life, your entire life, every day in your life as a garden, right? Now this is kind of a garden. This is a city park, right? You have a city park near you probably, or a field, but really you don't have to be in a field. You could just put yourself in a small room, and you have this whole garden around you. Your whole life is a garden, right? So now, whoops, sorry. Now let's look at this idea that people are spreading shit in your life, right? If your life is a garden, the shit turns into manure. And you should be thankful. Just like if a farmer had a farm and somebody came out in the night and spread a bunch of manure in his field, well, you know, that manure costs money. That's like free advertising. That's why these people who are gossiped about in the media stay in the media, because they're getting all this free advertising. You know, well, I probably shouldn't get too political, but you know, if you want Trump to be out of the media, people who are anti-Trump, stop talking about him, right? Anyway, that's an aside. A preface, an aside. There should be a digression somewhere in the near future. But anyway, the point being gossip. What do you do with all this gossip? How do you get away from it? Well, you be thankful for it, because they're spreading shit in your garden, first of all. But second of all, gardens don't just sprout up overnight. The benefits from this shit they're spreading in your garden take years and years to show themselves. Anyway, let's just finish with the song. Okay? I come to the garden alone, while the dew's still on the roses, and the voice I hear calling on my ear, Son of God supposes, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the voice I hear calling on